morning, Soul Family. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I had a client that I had to deal with. Come here, baby. Come on. So last night we had, well, first of all, look, we have beautiful weather. It always has something to do with what's going on energetically in our world. Come on, baby. Because when I saw, remember I saw that it was semi-cloudy, and then it started to get windy, and it started to get rainy, and really, really heavy emotions. So it shifted. So today, what we have feels really good out here right now. This is like, I like this kind of weather. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's like perfect. And the lake is nice and calm, so things are, and look at the sky. Look at the sky. It's like crystal. Love it. But last night, come on, baby. Hi, come on in. So last night we had a little bit of a kerfluffle. He didn't want to be left alone, and he woke up and wanted to be in here, and him and Lily were talking. He and Lily, let's see, what deck do we want to use? You know what? We're going to use the Mermaids. I haven't used the Mermaids in forever. And, what else? So he and Lily had this conversation going on. It was really interesting because I couldn't tell if they were fighting or if they were, wow, I just got a really loud message. That's insane. Wow, thank you, Spirit. I couldn't tell if they were fighting or if they were getting along. And in the end, they were not getting along. It sounded like Lily was going to try and be friends, but that was not her intention. I think that he wanted to be friends. And it's so interesting how you can see what's going on in your life by what's going on in your animals' lives. Hold on. And it wasn't even actually my own physical life. It's outside of my life that I'm watching this situation go on between these two characters. So he was alone and lonely, wanted to have attention, came in to where I was, wanted to be where I was, came in, and this altercation happened. It looked like they might be okay. Liger was having a fit. And then they got into I kind of separated them. And then there was like a major, I don't know, I didn't see what happened, but Lily was screaming and yelling and having a fit. And I know that, and Prince was right in there, like with her. But I don't think he was trying to hurt her. He doesn't do that. But then later, so then that calmed down. She was so hysterical and upset. Like, I had to pick her up. And when you pick her up ever, she bites and hisses and claws when you ever try and touch her. And so I'm putting her on the bed. I'm like, okay, you need to relax. And Liger was so freaked out that I told him to go up on the pillow. He's scared. So and that's Lily's pillow. So she had a fit, started hissing at him. I'm like, okay, you guys, this is ridiculous. I'm sure you guys are listening to this going, what the hell? Somebody's going to understand what I'm saying, and they're going to relate it to the people in their lives. So I gave him her pillow to calm him down. She is all disgruntled because she can't go down on the floor. She's all upset. Her heart's beating, and she's hissing and growling. And finally she settles down and comes over to me, and I'm calming her down. I'm doing Reiki on her, and she relaxes. And Prince kind of just settled down. I don't know where he went. He might have gone back to his room, or he just kind of got quiet. So then I finally fall asleep, right? And I'm in the middle of this dream, and I was so annoyed because it was quite detailed. And I get back. No, I don't get back. All of a sudden, I'm ripped out of my sleep because there's a big, huge fight. And I go into the dining room, and Liger has this spot under the dining room table where he hangs out. Well, he and Prince were going at it. And I'm telling you, Prince, I don't think, realizes that he is the one that's in control because Liger's on his back. So I said, no. And he's not hurting. It's interesting because I don't think Prince is hurting Liger. But when I went to go see, I separated them, and Prince went into his room. I went in to see Prince because Liger, he was okay. He went back into our room. And Prince had a fingernail, like a claw, a nail, stuck above his eye. And I thought, gee, that's Liger. Liger leaves his nails all over everybody. So that's another message to somebody. When Liger has a fight with my landlord's cats, there's fingernails all over the place. He leaves these nails everywhere. He's got these long, sharp claws. And then this morning, my two are up on my bed right now. I can't even make my bed. And Prince wants to come out. So he's wandering through the house. So he's getting braver and braver, and he's moving around. But these two are not accepting, and they want to fight him. So there's the message. Now, we're working with the healing with our fairies. And we are going to work with the Mermaid Oracle. First, I want to see if there's a message on the radio. Injury attorney. Okay, injury attorney. Now think about that. Liger didn't want to hurt, Prince didn't want to hurt anybody. He was just trying to come in to the home, and he was attacked by 2 different people. And there's an injury attorney. So somebody, that's what happened. That's what happened. And he's trying to get comfortable again, and he's in the same environment. So he can't leave the environment that he's in. So it could be a work situation, could be a home. But so if I'm the mom or the mother company, and I say this person comes in and they don't like you, but you have to, so somebody could have been hired in your job and they're attacking you. You're not, you're trying to stand up for yourself, but they're attacking you. Oh my God. Okay, well that's happening with me here in my work. I get that. So I'm just trying to, defend myself and keep myself calm, and I'm getting stronger and stronger. I'm more aware of it. But the situation is volatile, and there's 2. It's interesting. I thought they were getting along. They were talking, but they weren't. Somebody has a hidden agenda. Okay, so somebody's talking to somebody else, and they're acting like they're friends, but they're not. And I already realized that this morning, and somebody that I've been speaking to on Instagram, I found out was actually, I just got it from Spirit, that they're not who they say that they are. They are an ex roommate or an ex-girlfriend, or somebody that is quite jealous of me and a situation. So they're gone. So I just got confirmation. So for you, if that may help any of you, I'm sure it will help somebody. All right, I think we shuffled enough. Correct for neutrality. What's our first message? Injury attorney. Isn't that interesting? Injury attorney. It all lines up, right? Okay. And so what is our place, though? What would love say? What would love do? Well, for self-love, detaches from the situation, right? I'm going to take myself out of the scenario. So if you can't take yourself out of the scenario, you ask Spirit to be a mediator. Okay? I can choose who I can associate with and who I don't. I don't have to work with anybody, right? So, and that's come from a place of kindness. You see this fairy holding on to the rabbit. The rabbit talks about creativity. The rabbit talks about fertility, quick movement. It also talks about, think about protection, because a rabbit moves very quickly when it's in danger. And the fairy is protecting the rabbit because, look, she's looking over her shoulder and holding on to the rabbit like you're okay, like I did to Prince. And look, there's a little fairy down here by his back. So Spirit's got you covered, back and front. Stay grounded, because this person's in the forest. Okay, I totally get this. They've got you covered. I'm also getting, now this is in a reverse, I'm going to give all kinds of different messages that I'm getting, because remember, when we're shining bright, we attract the moths. This is a moth. It's not a butterfly. She's holding on to this timid one. She won't let this one go. This one's, so in one way, maybe they feel they're protecting this one. But with the scenario that we saw this morning, somebody's overprotecting, possibly, because this one's been hurt. Okay? This one's timid, this one's nervous, overprotecting. And I felt like that last night with these cats. I thought, you know what, they're not killing each other. They make a lot of noise. But that's usually just self-defense, the noise. They're going to have to figure it out, right? If it gets too loud, I'll step between them, but like this, I'll protect this one. But I'm not going to overprotect them. They're going to have to work it out together, which is the same thing with us if we're in a job situation, right? Can't go crying to the boss. You got to figure it out. And if it gets really, really bad, that's one thing. We can always call Spirit in and they will protect us. So those are the messages that I'm getting just by the story that I told. There could be an overprotective mother. There could be somebody who is looking for trouble. Or there could be somebody that's trying to hold on to this one and this as a friend, right? Acting like a friend, but they're not. They have a hidden agenda. And this one is unaware of that. So there's all those messages. And then there's just simply the word kindness. And for me, that's kindness to animals, kindness in nature. Taking care of the animals of our world. I'm thinking about God. I saw something last night and I immediately scrolled past it. I didn't want to look at it. It was something about grizzly bears and just President Trump signing President Trump signing some declaration, and it says, well, it's done. Now he's allowed these grizzly bears to be shot. So when I'm thinking about the attorney, the injury attorney, there's somebody, and that grizzly bear, teddy bear, I'm thinking, we want to protect the teddy bear. The teddy bear was hibernating. The teddy bear was in meditation. The teddy bear was just wanting to be left alone. And there's people that are coming to hurt them. And the president is signing a document saying it's okay to go eradicate them because they're seen as the enemy, whereas somebody else is going into their environment. So it could be that somebody's making a, they've made a, you've been fired, and unjustly. Or somebody has, like I said, hidden agendas. Somebody could have a hidden agenda. There's all kinds of things that are going on with that. Now, Spirit wants you to be kind. To yourself, first of all. Never then the crow was cawing. So kind to yourself. So right now you may be in a situation where you need to be gentle with yourself. Crow is sitting right there. Can you see it on the wall? On the border of our property. Okay, on the border of our property, making noise. I know that messages come when I say these things, and I get a lot of them later. So you need to be kind to yourself. You maybe have gone through a difficult situation, like what happened with the occultation last night. You keep trying, you keep trying. Okay, I'm getting another hit that there's... Remember the offer that was someone was going to get, and Spirit advised us not to take it, and I said I felt it could have been a family offer, or it could have been like a group of friends that you had dealt with in the past, and Spirit was saying, you have been trying to be kind. You have been trying to be understanding, compassionate, but Spirit's telling you, yesterday we got, you need to tell someone to back off, right? But you have been trying and trying and trying. Well, the president just signed a paper saying it's okay for them to do that. So this situation, whatever it was, Spirit already told you it was toxic, and you were trying to be the good guy, and now you need to stand up for yourself. Like you know, you need to stand up for yourself. Spirit will protect you. You're not on your own. You need to maybe be this. Maybe you have to be a hidden protection to someone else. So this one could be like the bear that's being hunted, right? And now you're the hidden protector for somebody else. So we can ask for a shield of protection, as we've done for the ones that we love. We can see them and surrounded by their angels. We can ask for their angels to go to them and help them. We may be standing up for someone in their absence. We may be going, like what did I do? When I saw one of those things that came across my page, I didn't want to read the article. I just went directly to the site and I signed a petition against it. So you may be doing something like that in defense of animals. We need the animals in our world. We need all of our animals. It's not okay to go obliterate any of the animals. You know, our whole ecosystem is being thrown sideways because of stuff like that going on. So maybe that's what you take a few minutes to sign a petition. Be aware. Take an animal in, rescue an animal. There's a lot of people, I've been watching, people find animals, they take them to the shelter. It's better for them to go to the shelter than leave them in the street, even though I know a lot of us don't want to bring them to the shelter. But I took a cat to the shelter in Sedona when I was on vacation, and I was so upset to take her in, and I realized, God, this place is amazing. It's the most beautiful of places, and they don't put them down. And the cat ended up, they found the owner, and she ended up writing me and thanking me. She was out of the country. So that cat would have been killed. She would have been in the wash, and coyote, the next day after I did that, I saw animal fur all over the bottom of the wash. So one animal got killed. So I saved that animal by taking her in. So you may be the protector, but it could be a person, as I said. You could be sheltering somebody, right? Whatever it is right now, Spirit's asking for you to actually look for opportunities where you can be helpful to other people, other animals, whatever it is. I like the idea of undercover kindness. You don't have to toot your own horn or let everybody know. It's kind of like that pay it forward. You go through the Starbucks. I don't drink coffee, but I remember people talking about this a lot. Go through Starbucks and you say, hey, here's $5. Buy the next person whatever they're getting, or put it towards whatever they're getting. And if they have any money left over, you keep it as a tip. So 2 people get an act of kindness. That's fun. You know, my mom used to have these cards that were made up. They were super cool, and they were just a really positive thought. Just a very a small little, like, say, an angel card, right? And she would leave them on their windshield. So, oh, I love the fact that this is the card that we were given. I was going to give this as an example. Divine intervention. You may feel frustrated because something stalls or comes to a standstill. Progress seems painfully slow, yet this is a blessing. It is divine intervention at work. When the timing is perfect, in perfect harmony, all will come to fruition. So she would leave something like this on somebody's windshield. Now, I know and I trust that the person may not be awake, but Spirit would guide her to the... And a lot of them weren't this detailed. They were just, you know, maybe a very small message like someone loves you, or give someone a hug today, or tell someone that you love them, or, you know, somebody wants you to know they're thinking of you, or have a beautiful day, or you're a wonderful person, or give yourself a hug, right? So it was a positive thing. The next message that I was given is this one, positive outcome. The sun is about to burst through the clouds, and you will soon see things in a different light. Something that previously seemed hopeless will soon be filled with nothing but hope. Okay, you guys, we get these messages because Spirit gave us these messages. First, there's divine intervention. It's slow. Things aren't moving forward. You're at a standstill, right? Spirit's got their arms around you. Don't worry, it's okay. We know that you're concerned, but right now, maybe this is happening for your protection or for the protection of someone else. Because as what's going on in our house, I'm watching that there's a family situation that's very volatile, right? And they're trying to work things through. So it's stalling. But don't worry about it, because what was going on, the discombobulation or at your work or whatever it is, between you and a friend or whatever, all of a sudden the light's going to change and it's going to be positive. I saw this last night in a dream, and they showed me and the sun, and they said, she'll be proud of us. She'll be proud of me. The sun's shining on me. And that means that exactly this. The sun is about to burst through the clouds, which would be the divine masculine, right? Which is positive thoughts, which is happy and a positive outlook, or coming out of maybe a place of depression or anxiety, right? So those are the kind of things that you could do as a anonymous kind act. Also, we just got messages in that go along with everything that we're talking about. So don't worry about this situation because Spirit says it's under control. Pay attention. Pay attention to what you do, the implications of everything that we do and what we think. There's so many different variables. There's so many different aspects. There's so many different ways that things could be affected, or what, or people that could be affected, or how we could be affected, or how we could change a situation for the good, right? It's always about good. What would love do? What would love say? They're also talking about every time you do an act of kindness like this and your focus is on doing something kind for someone else, like everywhere you go today, if you go out anywhere, I don't leave Canyon Lake hardly ever. I hardly ever go outside my gates. But if you are in the mall, or if you're going in and out of different stores, make it your focus to look for, when you go in a door, is there anyone that's coming right behind you? Stop, wait, and hold the door open for them. Do you know, I went to the post office to mail a sage wand off, and I was in my head, and I was standing there. I just gone in the door, and I was standing at the door, and I heard this kind of shuffling, kind of awkward sound at the door, and I looked, and there was an older woman with a walker trying to get in the door, and I said, oh my God, I'm sorry. I said, I wish I'd paid attention when I first heard the noise. She had been struggling at the door, and there was nobody to help her. And she said, no, it's okay. And I said, no. I mean, I literally felt really bad because, and I think the reason I felt bad was because I think my higher self was prompting me and I didn't look up. So pay attention when your higher self prompts you. She was really struggling, and it wasn't my fault, right? But my higher self was trying to get my attention and I wasn't paying attention to it. And remember, we got from Spirit, I don't think it was yesterday, I think it was the day before. You have been avoiding or ignoring what your higher self is telling you. Stop sticking your hands in your ears. Stop putting your hands over your eyes. Remember I said Liger up on the bed, if he closes his eyes, it's not there. Well, don't close your eyes to a situation. It is there. And don't close your ears to what your intuition is trying to tell you, your higher self. If you feel like you need to step up or maybe offer assistance to somebody, do it. If you get a feeling on, you know what, I think I should call this person today, or somebody pops into your mind and you don't really know why, send them a message. Hey, hope you're having a good day. You don't know. There's something going on. Don't ignore what your intuition is telling you. And as you start focusing more on being aware of other people, of animals, and acts of kindness towards people, you draw that energy to you. You draw that kind of friend to you. If you're exhibiting that kind of behavior, I'm watching 2 hawks fly above right now. 2 messages. Those are my messengers. And my eye just was taken to them, and they're a pair. So exactly what I just said. When you are exhibiting a loving attitude and you are a kind person that's thinking of others, you draw that kind of a friend to you. You draw that kind of energy to you. So I'm watching 2 red hawks circle, right? As a pair, there they are. They drew, by their vibration, another to them, like them. So this doesn't have to be people and animals only. It can be the environment, like trees, branches. Like when I go hiking and climbing, be careful not to bend the branches and break them, and don't step on flowers. And other animals those are their homes, right? They use them as their homes. They use them as their means of food. Be cautious about anything that you take. If you go fishing, I don't want you to go fishing, but if you do, if you go anywhere and you bring a picnic lunch, or be very careful that your trash doesn't blow away. Sometimes it'll blow away and you'll think, oh shit, I tried to get it, but no, go get it. Don't let it go in the water so that it gets covered over, a plastic baggie gets covered over a turtle's head and suffocates him. You don't know. Please don't send off balloons into the air. I know it's a really cool thing, and in remembrance, I see on my spiritual page people doing this all the time. My son, it's a commemoration of my son's death, and we just left 50 mylar balloons off into the air. Please don't do that. Those balloons land back down into the ocean, and those cords tangle up around animals, around their fins. Animals will take that in. My friend, one of my clients, who's actually become kind of like a friend, just spent $3,000 on her cat having a string taken out of its stomach. $3,000. But that's what happens to animals out there. They will pull on something not knowing what it is, and they ingest it. I'm sure you guys have seen the picture of the whale. It's actually a Greenpeace statement. And they've got this giant body of a whale on the beach, and inside of its mouth, it's filled with all of the trash. And a lot of it are those hot balloons that have popped and gone back down into the water. You can't control where they go. It's kind of like we said about your words. If you gossip, or if you say something negative about somebody to somebody else, it's spread everywhere. You can't control where it goes or what happens. Well, you let those balloons up, you've got a good intention, right? There's another thought. You may have not meant anything bad by it, but be very, very cautious by doing that, because you don't know how people twist things. Now, you may have had a beautiful idea. Well, that was, somebody got married and we sent off those. Don't. They have those lantern bags that you can send off, and they burn up and there's nothing left. That's better. But don't send something off that's going to land in amongst nature and kill or ruin our environment by polluting our water. Again, maybe this is you from the very beginning. So you could be the one that's been in a very tumultuous situation, and you are constantly thinking about other people. You are that person that's constantly giving of yourself. You are that person that's constantly concerning yourself with other people's feelings. And that's why you've maybe allowed yourself to stay in the situation where Spirit has told you, this isn't a good opportunity. This isn't a place where you need to be. You've been trying to be gentle and kind and loving and understanding. Well, they're going through this. They're going through that. This is a difficult time. Yeah, but you know what? You need to take care of yourself too. And that's a message for me, and I am aware. This is Liger and Lily's home, and I brought somebody else in. And they're upset. Lily was very traumatized. She wasn't just being a bitch. She was very, very traumatized. So I had to take time and give them both special attention, right? Liger got the special pillow. I had to calm Lily down, and then I went in and calmed them down. So you may be trying to understand, okay, this person's hurt, so we have to take care of him. Yeah, but you have a family, or you have to, I've taken this person in, I've been trying to help them, but they've got all these issues and they've got all these problems, and it's actually, I'm run down. And you are not God, and you are not everyone's savior, and you are not anyone's doctor, and you're not anyone's therapist. So you may have been giving and giving and giving and of yourself and just bringing all this toxic on yourself, this toxic energy. So it's time to possibly listen to what your higher self has been trying to tell you that you have been ignoring. Also, what Spirit has been telling you, we want you to tell someone to back off. We want you to say no more. We want you to focus on yourself right now and give yourself a little bit of self-care. You'll know what it means for you. So you, yes, I am kind, I am thoughtful, I am loving, but not only to others, but also to myself. Okay? So there was a lot in that. My God, one card. Okay, so we're going to go, since that was so long. Hi, baby. Hi, Mama's baby. I can hear him. I'm glad that I have my cats don't have collars because they don't go outside. And I put a collar on him with a bell so I would know where he is. And it's good because I can differentiate between him and them. So that's a message in itself. So that gave me a message. So we aren't quite certain about who's who. I told you that there's somebody who was, has a hidden agenda and is trying to portray themselves as a friend when they're actually jealous and they want something else from me, right? So energetically, what we can do is ask Spirit to put a bell on the one who has the hidden agenda and light it up for us. Put a bell on them so I can differentiate between who's who. Hi. Hi, honey. Hi. Hi, sweet baby. So my two are sleeping, and that's cool. He can go around and he can cruise, but I know where he is. I can keep an eye on him. So whoever it is that Spirit wants you to be cautious of or, be aware of, ask Spirit to put a symbolic bell on them. And maybe you'll hear a bell. Maybe you will, I don't know how Spirit will alert you, but a bell is an alert. So please alert me to who it is that I need to be careful of. Okay, so now we're going to go to, actually, hold on. Let me see if there's a message on the radio. What is this song? The reason I hold on. I want you to stay. The reason I hold on, I want this hole gone. Funny you're the broken one, but I'm the only one who needed saving. Okay. Wow, you guys. Funny you're the broken one, but I'm the only one who needed saving. So that's exactly what's going on. So here you have been putting yourself out to care for this scared rabbit, but you're the one that needed saving. Or maybe this rabbit has been caring for this little one here, but you're the one that needed saving. Because the one that you thought that you were being careful of and the one that you were giving so much of yourself of, they're toxic. You're the one that needs to be saved from that situation. You were being, and I got this yesterday really, really loud. And I talked to you guys about this, and that was the voodoo in blue, where Spirit said, we want you to back off. You've been overriding your instincts. You have been trying to be helpful and kind and loving, but they have a hidden agenda. So here, I'm thinking, well, you're the broken one. That doesn't, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to be generous. I'm trying to give of my time. But I'm the one who needed saving from you because you had a hidden agenda. So you guys know what this is in regards to. I mean, geez, it's all going together. Okay. Correct neutrality on all levels. And this happens a lot when you deal with social media, right? It just does. It's a way to get into somebody's life, into their business, without knowing them. Without really knowing them. You allow people in where you wouldn't normally allow them into your life. You certainly wouldn't allow somebody who's jealous of you, who's got a hidden agenda, is trying to find information out on you, and who's trying to manipulate you into your life. But they can come disguised as somebody completely different on the internet. So it's about, be very careful about who you allow in. And if you get an uncomfortable feeling that something's not quite right, trust it. I keep going back and forth. I keep feeling bad, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe that's not what it was. And so then I allow them in. But they have a hidden agenda. So there's a reason you felt uncomfortable in the first place, and you need to trust that. Okay, message from the Mermaid, Oracle of the Mermaids. Haven't used this in a very long time. That was a really clear cut. So wave of power. Ooh, I like that. Let's bring the sea forward. I like that. This is intense looking. Okay, so you see this one, this mermaid, and she's sitting on the rocks. And she's embracing her power. She has not, this is not fear, and this is not something coming after her. This is something that she is embracing or feeling or working with. And when I asked for this card, okay, so I pulled it upright. I don't even know. It might have come sideways. I can't quite recall. I think I turned it. So it wasn't upright and it wasn't in the reverse. So we'll kind of do both ideas here. So a surge of power, upswing in energy, exhilarating movement. Well, that was one of the messages that we got earlier. I don't know if it was yesterday in our weekly reading. It said that we're going to start feeling our energy coming back, this energy coming back. So there she is, this exhilarating, because water is emotion, right? And her shoulders are back, which means she's not feeling vulnerable. She's not feeling unsure. She's open. She's open. So right now, and she's not drifting in her emotional waters. She's on shore. She's on the rocks, or on, I don't know where she's sitting on, up on a reef. Who knows where she is? But she's working with the power, right? The power of this emotion, because our emotion, whatever we can take anger, fear, we can take anything and turn it, use that energy into something purposeful. So she's taking this energy to ride along of her emotional waters. She's now up. She's sitting there. She's caught the wave and she's sitting there on feeling quite triumphant, right? Quite at one with this emotional energy. She feels that energy within her. The ability to do whatever she needs to do. She's in flow, in harmony with her emotional waters. I saw that in my dream last night. This person jumping in and out of the water, and then they came and they sat on the edge of the water. And to me, it felt like they were on the side, like on a piece of, almost like well, it felt like a ledge to me, but it was really strange because it was water in front of us. It was me and someone else sitting there. And we jumped into the water. There were little animals that were in the water, and the person said, "Be careful." He was picking them up, and what were we doing with them? And he says, "We'll just drop them over the edge." So that's the emotional waters. There was a little bug that was in my water, and I needed to drop it over the edge. So that was removing someone from where they shouldn't be, because he said, "Be careful." Then I sat up onto the ledge, like she's sitting up on the ledge, but it was like a wooden ledge. So wood is the basic needs, our basic needs, our feelings, our sexual energy, basically the fundamentals of who we are. And I sat up on the ledge, and I said she'd be so proud of us sitting here. We're in the water, and I said, "And look, the sun is on our face." I said, "Do you think we can get a tan?" And the person said, "I think so." So whoever I was connecting with had come up, was in their emotional waters, had removed whatever bugs or, so this could be, negative thoughts, fears, or it could be people, that were in their emotional waters that they don't want there. We dropped them off the edge. We didn't want to hurt them, but we dropped them off. See, we didn't want to hurt them, but we dropped them off. And I'm thinking about seeing animals outside, a stray animal. You're not going to bring it into your house. You don't want to hurt them, though, so you're going to drop them off. So you're not going to allow somebody into your own personal home anymore, but you don't want to hurt them. You're going to be kind, but you're detaching and you're dropping them off. That all goes together. I was sitting on that ledge. Wouldn't she be proud of us? We're in our emotional waters. We've dropped off those bugs, whether they be people, thoughts, worries, and we are looking up to the divine masculine, the sun. We're allowing it to shine down on us, which means we're in the light. We're looking to the light, and it's warming us. So much so that we could even get a tan. So we are so exposed to the divine masculine, meaning I have opened myself up. I am open emotionally, and I'm not afraid. I know who I am. I know what I'm doing, right? I'm in harmony right now. So this is a great emotional wave. When the great wave comes, go to the mountain. Well, I was sitting on the side of something. There was wood down below me, so trees. So she's sitting on the side here too. So the mountain also represents spirit. It also represents meditation. So I went into my emotional waters, and I'm comfortable there. I'm exploring my emotional waters, and I'm at peace. I'm removing things that I no longer wish to carry, right? And I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling more open. I'm working in harmony with this emotional water. This great wave came, and I'm not afraid of it. Wouldn't she be proud of us? I'm stepping into the light. I'm facing my divine masculine. Wouldn't she be proud of us? Yes, she is proud, right? And you should be proud of yourself too, because this is where you are. This great, powerful wave of energy, it's gathering for you in a positive way. This is not overwhelming you. At one time, it overwhelmed you, but now you're learning to ride with this wave. You're not hesitating. This wave is now your friend. It's your ally. Now, remember I told you when, I don't know if you all watch all of these videos, I had that dream 2 years ago, and my twin and I were running on the beach. He was ahead of me, and a great wave started building behind us, and I was running, but I couldn't catch up to him. I felt like, you know how when you're in your dreams, you're running and running and running, you can't get anywhere. I felt like my feet were sinking into the sand. I couldn't reach him. And he looked back and he saw me. The wave was growing bigger and bigger. He saw me and he came back and he picked me up. And it was hard for him to run, but he picked me up and he carried me with him. So that was me I was being overcome by emotion at that time, and my spiritual twin connected with me. He saw that and he came back and he connected with me and he helped me through it. And when the wave came, we couldn't outrun that wave, neither one of us. It was a tidal wave. But it lifted us. And all I remember is us going higher and higher. We were together and we were going higher and higher. Well, that's what's going on here. All of a sudden, this emotional energy, this wave that may have been overwhelming before, we're no longer afraid of. It's actually lifting us. Like when my grandson was afraid to go into the water, the waves were pummeling him. Those emotional feelings were pummeling him. He was afraid. I'd been here before. I don't want to go out. I'm going to drown in that. Remember the song my twin sang to me, All of Me Loves All of You. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. Okay? He's making it through. But my grandson was getting pummeled by the waves every time, because he was not deep enough in. He was only so far in where the waves were crashing on him, right? So you either have to retreat or go in deeper. Then he was afraid to go in deeper. And I said, I'm out deeper. I'm not getting pummeled. You need to trust in me, or trust in spirit, right? Go a little deeper. You are able to swim. Like the osprey says, you will be able to dive down under your emotional waters, like the cormorant that's been made to work for other people, right? Who's now underneath their emotional waters because they're so overwhelmed with responsibility or burdens for others that they've been, not being allowed to give anything back to themselves. They've just been giving. Maybe that one that's been trying to help others and not allowing themselves to be helped. But that cormorant, just like the osprey, says you will be able to go under those emotional waters and you will emerge. You are buoyant enough to emerge and you will be safe. And so, like my grandson, he finally trusted me. Spirit says, trust in us. Go in deeper. Go a little deeper than you are. Because, right, maybe it's spiritually. You started to look into it, but it's kind of overwhelming. When you start, your gifts come to you. They can be very overwhelming. Sorry, it's shaking. I just had to plug us in. It is overwhelming when we have an awakening. It can be very frightening. It can be very scary. Because the things that happen, you have prophetic dreams, you say things before they happen, your eyes are open to things that you wouldn't normally experience. Some people have out-of-body experiences. They don't know what's going on. Some people see things, remote view, visions. I've seen angels. They appeared. It scared the shit out of me. Sorry, I'm looking out the window. It scared me. I wanted always to have that ability, but when it happened, I was terrified. So it's also the same thing with emotion or a job. Right? I've wanted this for so long, but when it came, it overwhelmed me, it scared me, and I was drowning. But now you've come to this place. The song said, I want you to stay. Funny, I was the broken one, but you were the broken one, but I was the only one who needed saving. And I realized, wow, but I want you to stay. So I got overwhelmed, and I was drowning, and I realized there's nothing to be frightened of. My grandson took my hand. I took Spirit's hand and I trusted them. And I looked a little bit more into I calmed myself down. I worked with Spirit and I said, help me work with these gifts that I'm getting. Or I'm going to realize that I'm safe and I can go a little deeper emotionally into this relationship. I can open up. I can trust this one, just like you can trust Spirit. You've recognized this. Or I'm going to take another step further. maybe I had a dream about something I wanted to do, and I started to do it, and it was overwhelming, and I retreated. But now I've regained that. I've regained my strength, and I've recognized that I can harness this emotional energy for my highest good, and I'm feeling good. I'm embracing this emotional wave, and I'm going to ride with it. So that's what happened. My grandson took my hand, and I said, okay, watch what happens. He went just to his tippy toes, right where he had his nose sticking out above the water. He was that far in. So you could be feeling like I'm right on the edge, right? I'm that far in. Then the wave came, and I said, now relax and let it lift you. And he did. He held my hand, and we lifted together. Just like my twin and I, we lifted. That wave lifted us. He relaxed and he trusted in spirit, and I did too. We let go. It's kind of surrendering, right? I surrender to the process. I surrender. I trust you. It's going to be okay. And I said, put your arms out like this. Put your arms out. And then as the wave went past us, I said, now let it fly down the other side like you're flying. Put your arms out, and it will put you down on your feet. So he did. He let go. We put our arms out to the side, kind of like this, and we rode the wave. And when the wave dissipated, we were set back down gently, very gently. We didn't crash down. We were gently set back down. So this one has learned to trust. This one has learned to trust in spirit. They've learned to trust in their own personal power. And they've recognized, just like my twin and I, that giant wave came and it lifted, but it lifted us up to spirit. It lifted us. And so we've used this energy now, and we're working with this energy. And we realize that, yes, it's very powerful. And it can be very destructive, but it can be very, very powerful in a positive way. So Spirit's telling you, have courage. Gather up your strength. Don't hesitate. This is a time for you to decide where you want to go. Where is that wave going to take you? Is it going to move you into a new city? Are you going to move from your house to a new place? Are you going to go into a new career? Are you going to dive into a relationship? Are you going to explore your emotional waters? Are you going to dare to dream a different dream? Right? What are you going to allow it to do? Because now Spirit said is the time to act and really exert yourself. Because when we have the wave behind us, you know, when you paddleboard or when you're body surfing, you catch the wave, but you got to kick to keep yourself ahead of the wave, and then you ride it, right? So you don't just catch the wave and it takes you in. Sometimes you catch the perfect wave and that happens, but you got to paddle, right? So Spirit says, catch the wave, reach out your arms and direct where the energy is going. Where are you going to go? It's your choice. Because right now, the energy that you have building within you and around you right now cannot be wasted. This is the opportunity Spirit wants you to take. And they don't want you to be afraid. This is what you have waited for. You have waited for this. Remember I said, I've always wanted this job. I've always wanted this relationship. I've always wanted to meet this kind of a person. And well, now they're here. Now it's here. Here's your opportunity. Don't be overcome by your emotions. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and exposed and feel the rush. It's an exhilarating rush. Don't let it pass you by. This has been reserved for you. Now, if it was in reverse, you're going to be afraid of it, right? Intimidated. You may be spending all of your precious energy, kicking in those emotional waters, paddling around in circles, or, as I said, dealing with somebody else's emotional waters. Right? You're not their doctor. You're not their therapist. You're not their God. They need to learn their own lessons. You are enabling someone and causing your own self-grief. You are having your energy sapped, or you're allowing a big dog to ride for free on your back and you're the surfboard. So you also may feel that energy within you. If these are your spiritual gifts, or you feel that within you, but you're afraid of it. What if I misuse it? You know, I have great power. I can be destructive with this power. Maybe I've got that kind of energy within my body. My mom has got a really vicious temper. My dad's got it. You know, I've watched what marriage is like, and I don't want that. What if I'm like that? What if no, I haven't been that way now, but what if I get mad and, I'm watching this play out. Now think about what's going on with Liger, Lily, and Prince, okay? Liger and Lily live in the same house. For all intents and purposes, they're roommates or partners. They don't like each other. They beat each other up all the time. There's always yelling and hissing. And if Liger sometimes goes after Lily, Lily generally goes after Liger, but it's not a peaceful environment between those two, right? It's always separate corners. They can get on the same bed, and that's why I'm thinking of a marriage, because they do sleep on the same bed But a lot of times Liger sleeps in another room. So this could be what you're watching, your family, and you could be Prince. You've come home. Maybe you lost a job and you had to come home, and now you're back at your parents' house right now, and you're living in this really toxic environment. And you're looking at that and you're thinking, God, I don't want a relationship, man. I don't want this, because what if I become my mother? She says all the time, oh, that's my little mini me. That's my little twin. That's my little mirror. Or what if I become like my dad? I love my dad. He's a good guy, but he drinks. Or whatever. So you may be afraid. You have that within you. You're come from that. I was raised this way. No, I have a different life now. I've chosen to be different. I haven't lived my life that way, but I've got it in me. Yeah, but you have choices and you have control over your own actions. So work through the fears, because the fears are there for a reason. They come up for a reason. You are meant to feel fear. You are meant to look at red flags, because sometimes it's things within yourself that you need to be careful of, right? Because of my past relationship, or because of what I've watched with my family, I've got insecurities, and I have a tendency to get jealous. So I have to be careful of that. Just because the last person in my life did this to me doesn't mean this person's going to do it to me, right? Or you're in a workplace and I know people like you. I know already. I've dealt with people like you before. Yeah, but it's not the same person. They may have similar characteristics or qualities, but they're not the same person. So assumptions are really rotten to have. We have to be really careful not to assume things, and pay attention, however, to what does come up within ourselves. Yes, I've got a tendency to be jealous. Okay, I got to work on that. I got to watch that. I have a tendency to be very needy. I have a tendency to believe that nobody's going to love me or care because they haven't before. But don't be careful of your negative self-talk. I saw somebody put a post out yesterday saying that. I'm not used to people caring about me. By saying, and it was said in thanks for people saying something kind. But you're putting energy towards something negative. You're putting energy towards what your fear is, and we don't want to do that. So that came up for you to look at, but don't put it in print. Don't put it out there, because you're holding that energy to you, right? So it came up because you needed to look at it and you needed to be aware of it, and you also needed to recognize it wasn't true. That's a fear, right? So you may be allowing yourself to color, allow your fears or worries or past experience to color your perception of the situation in front of you. So work through the fears, realize they don't serve you as far as the good, that they are serving you as to what to get rid of and what to lose. Remember those bugs in the emotional waters? We picked them up and dropped them over the edge. Wouldn't she be proud of me? Wouldn't she be proud of us for doing that and being in our emotional waters and looking up to the sun? Because the sun is optimistic. Sun is about growth. The sun is about forward movement. Claiming, grabbing onto my masculine energy, which is your determination, your drive, your ability to move forward. And that's what Spirit's wanting us to do, is harness this energy and use it and work with it and go with it. Because we have more strength and balance and ability and gifts than we recognize that we do. That's why we always see other people in our lives, the ones that we feel might be broken. We don't see them broken. We see them in their highest self. And if you see somebody struggling, you call on their higher self to make themselves aware. So I'm going to let that go. That's probably, I'm going to actually just check and see. Hi, baby. You just called me. I'm going to check and see. Get up and try and try. Got to get up and try. You got to get up and try. Right? So you may have been knocked down by that emotional wave, but you're going to get up and try. This makes me think of a message that I put out yesterday on my page. I said, and this might be for somebody else, what if you had to tell somebody the most important thing in your life and you knew they wouldn't believe you? What do? You try. You say it anyway. Yeah, but they're not going to believe me. They're not going to trust me. You say it anyway. Because that's all we are meant to do. What if you had to tell someone the most important thing in the world, but you knew they wouldn't believe you? What would you do? Try.